Manga-Waido.
My name is Miharu Shirakawa. I'm 28 years old. A few years ago, I was cheated on by a man who promised to marry me. Ever since, I haven't had a boyfriend. My father, who runs a company, is a man of few words, but when I was depressed and recovering from the shock of having been cheated on, he would buy me sweets he would never buy for me himself, and invited me out to go on drives. He treats me as if I'm a high school student. But my father's awkward kindness touched my heart, and I feel like I recovered quite quickly. I'm so lucky to have been born into this family. This is how I truly felt.
Hey, Miharu. Have you thought about going on an arranged date?
Huh? This is a bit sudden.
I'd rather not spring this on you later because I don't think that would be fair, but recently my company hasn't been doing so well.
What?
The father of a prospective marriage partner is the president of one of our business partners. He said that if matchmaking goes well, he's willing to provide financial support.
That sounds like a business marriage.
On the surface, yes, but I also want you to be happy.
You seem to be avoiding men after getting your heart broken.
Oh yeah, I've just struggled to trust them.
Apparently, this guy is the same age as you and has a very good reputation. Not to mention the fact that he's quite good looking.
He's good looking?
This is him.
Whoa, he's super hot! Well, if you insist, I guess there's no harm in meeting him.
Really?
Yeah, well, everyone around me is getting married, so it was about time I started thinking about it too.
Okay. Well, I'll contact them.
And the day of the arranged date.
My name is Daichi Iyama.
Whoa, he's even hotter than his photo. He's polite and also quite the gentleman.
Be careful here. The ground is wet.
Okay.
I guess this is quite the surprise for both of us.
Yes, I too was very surprised.
But I got to meet someone cute like you, so I'm starting to think that arranged dates are not so bad after all.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm also happy to have met someone nice like you.
I'm happy to hear that. I hope we can get to know each other more.
Yes. Despite only having spent a few hours together, I found him very calm and collected for his age. Apparently, after graduating from a good university, he spent some time in the States. When he asked me to see him again, I immediately agreed.
Well, how was it?
He listened to me very carefully and was very gentlemanly. He was a nice guy.
I'm glad to hear that.
I hope everything goes smoothly.
Yes, I will do my best to behave so as not to embarrass your company. But our second date, after watching a movie together, we were discussing where to have dinner when I don't mind going somewhere cheap.
No, that's not happening. I know. Let's go to Mono Restaurant. The food there is amazing.
Oh, but I'm only a normal office worker, so I don't have that much money to spend on a pricey dinner.
I'm paying you, so you don't need to worry about money.
No, I'll feel guilty.
Don't worry about it. Women are not as clever as men, which is why they get paid less, right?
Huh?
It's only normal for men to pay for women, so please, be my guest.
Well, you're right about me not getting paid that much.
Yeah, so you understand. So let's go to Mono Restaurant.
I'm sorry. I think I'll actually head home tonight as it's quite late. He tried to stop me, but I made up some excuse about remembering that I had to wake up early for work the following morning. It sounds like he might be a little chauvinistic, but he was so polite otherwise. I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt, reasoning that he must not have actually meant it, and so I agreed to go on another date, but what's wrong? You seem unhappy.
I've been made the project leader and there's a ton of decisions I have to make which are exhausting me.
I can't believe you're already a project leader, even though we're the same age.
Well, it's only to be expected. I've studied management all my life for the purpose of taking over my father's firm one day.
I see.
What about you? You are the daughter of a president. What has been your position on study and education?
I went to an art school and haven't really studied any management, I'm afraid.
I guess you're a woman after all. It's only normal for you not to have any ambition.
What?
For women, jobs are simply a pastime until getting married, right?
I guess that might be true of some people.
To be honest, I'm envious of you. You get paid regardless of the quality of your work, and once you get married, you can simply live off your husband's salary. What an easy life. I guess it's only natural given how much cleverer men are than women.
There's no denying it anymore. This is what he actually thinks. Daichi-san proceeded to berate the waitress and tell her to hurry up. and got annoyed at an old lady walking slowly on the street. In general, he seemed to have a disdain for women. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't think I continue seeing Daichi anymore.
What? But I thought things were going so well between you.
Did he do something to you?
He hasn't done anything wrong in particular, but it's just... yeah.
But you've only met him a couple times. Perhaps you should see him a couple more times before deciding.
Would it be a bad idea to stop seeing him? Has his parents said anything?
Our company is really struggling at the moment, and we're struggling to pay back our bank loans. The father says that if you agree to marry the son, he'll be happy to offer us financial support immediately.
We can't let your father's employees suffer like this.
I didn't see how I could explain things any clearer. In the end, this is the response I came up with. Then, do you mind meeting him with me? I then suggested to Daichi-san that I wanted to do a barbecue. The reason I chose a barbecue is because I thought it wouldn't be strange to invite my parents. Daichi-san happily agreed. The day of the barbecue, he barely helps. Daichi-san and his father just sat there waiting for the food to be served. My father was running around and helping with the preparations and barbecuing the meat. When he finally stood up, is he refrying the meat I gave him? I tried to have a look without him noticing.
It's still red. Can she even cook meat properly?
He was muttering complaints to himself. Doesn't he realize my mother can hear all this? Even my mother was frozen in astonishment. After everyone finished eating, we moved on to the lively conversation with drinks in hand, and that's when Daichi-san's personality began to really shine through. When I was studying abroad in America, the meat dishes my host mother would prepare me were so delicious.
Yeah, American meat is really good.
But as a result, I overate and became fat. Having this barbecue is reminding me of those times.
I also studied abroad, but because I was focused on my studies, I didn't gain any weight.
I see.
I wish I could have spent my year abroad having fun like you did, but I'm pretty hardworking, and I had the added responsibility of having to one day take over my father's company. This is why I had to take it seriously.
That's right. Ever since you were a kid, you're hardworking and always aiming to be number one.
All of this was thanks to you. You always told me to aim high, but maybe I could have enjoyed my youth a little more.
I had lots of fun in my youth. He keeps finding ways to belittle me. As expected, Daichi-san didn't help at all with the tidying up and just sat there drinking beer with his father. On the way home.
That wasn't okay.
Yes, I agree.
So I don't have to see him anymore? I mean, I don't want to see him anymore after that. But is your company gonna be okay?
My company is in a pickle right now. That doesn't mean I'm going to give away my only daughter to that piece of garbage.
In this day and age, it's unacceptable for a man to just sit there without offering to help. I'm sure he's exactly like that at home.
And all he ever said was the mean things. It was really unpleasant watching him belittle you like that.
Right? That's what I also thought.
I'm going to tell them it's off. And I'm sorry to put you in this position.
Don't worry about it. You had no way of knowing that he would really be like that. The following day, my father went to Daichi-san's house to tell him that it was off. I thought this would be the end of it, but a few days later...
I can't believe a woman is turning a man down! It defies all logic!
He came over to our house with his father and began shouting at me.
I intended you to let me off the hook for being ugly, and this is how you repay me?
I cannot understand why someone would reject someone as accomplished as my son.
Someone like you will never find anyone better than me!
Your father's company no longer has my financial support. I wonder what's going to happen to it.
There's nothing I can do about that.
I can see why you're not married. You have no foresight whatsoever.
No,
That's true. I'll tell you what, Miharu, if you get down on your knees and apologize, maybe I'll give you another chance.
no way! Please go home! Fortunately, my father, who had been contacted by my mother, came rushing home to help me.
If you don't leave us alone, we're calling the police! Fine, but we'll be back. Until you repent yourselves and properly apologize, we're going to keep coming back.
Daichi and his father continued to make a fuss until the very end. What's wrong with them two? After this, Daichi and his father began spreading bad rumors about my father's company. The subcontractors who admired my father told us the Iyama family had been spreading strange rumors, and that's how it came to light. They came all the way to our house just to berate me, and it happened a few times afterwards. Eventually, my father got angry and decided to sue them. I had recorded them whenever they'd come to our house, and we used the recordings to sue them. When my father sent them a letter saying that he would sue them for defamation against his company and daughter, they consulted with their company's legal advisor. It seems that they were advised by their lawyer that being sued in this situation would be disadvantageous. They came with compensation for emotional distress, saying, "Let's settle this out of court."
I'm sorry.
We were simply upset that you turned him down. Please, take this and forgive us. Well, what shall we do?
I don't mind as long as we have nothing more to do with them.
Yes, if we don't agree to settle out of court, there's no telling what else they might do.
Okay. Let's agree to settle then.
We took the settlement money and got them to write a formal agreement. We thought the matter would now be resolved.
But I'm not letting them off the hook for making fun of you.
Huh? From there, my father's counterattack began. Although he doesn't say much, he had an extensive network and was highly respected. Many of our business partners believed my father's side of the story, so nobody listened to what that notorious parent-child duo had to say. Iyama's company ended up getting a bad reputation from our business partners. The reputation they earned was that of a scumbag parent-child duo who sabotaged their fellow industry peers. Their business started to decline, and eventually they decided to sell the company.
This is all your fault! I'm not going to let you get away with this!
Have you forgotten the restraining order I filed against you? Well, never mind. Just stay there whilst I call the police.
You're a woman! I can't believe you're doing this!
I am recording this, you know.
You better watch it!
Here are the police.
I've done nothing wrong! Don't touch me! Right, calm down. We'll hear you out at the police station.
I have no idea what happened to Daichi after that. As for us, old friends of my father who had heard what had happened visited him. And as a result, my father managed to secure new clients. The financial situation improved, and he is now making progress towards his loan repayments.
Miharu, I'm truly sorry about everything. I should have just worked harder from the beginning.
I'm very sorry too.
Don't worry, I'm not bothered by it at all. Anyway, the important thing is you've managed to rebuild your company.
Yes, I'm going to work hard now.
I know. And I'm going to support you all the way. I also need to work hard to make sure that you two stop worrying about me. For that, I need to sharpen my eye for men.